Hi, and this is my school reads video, I think. I don't know what names are. Hi, I thought I'd do a fun little video, sort of a different sort of video for you guys. I thought I would talk about my school books, not boring old textbooks and stuff, but books we have to actually read in English and literature, and just books that some people find interesting and some people don't. And I just wanted people's opinions on this to see, like, because some of these books I haven't read, so I just want people to comment and tell me if they liked anything. Some of these are classics. Some of these books I know people don't like a lot of people don't like. I just want to have a little idea of what people like. So this is a book I'm currently reading for next year for literature, because I'm going into year 11, and it is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. And I'm about 100 pages through. I think you can see where I'm reading because the pages have just completely gone to hell. And but this is actually interesting so far. It's sort of hard to get through and sort of hard to comprehend because it was written in the 1800s, and I'm not used to her writing and I'm not used to her premises, but I am sort of getting into it, and her writing is very, very beautiful, and I'm having to do a lot of questions on this. I think that's all we do in literature, but I am enjoying this. It is a classic, obviously. There are 2 volumes in here. I'm not going to explain the storyline or the premise because I don't even understand it yet. If you have read this book for school before, please comment below and tell me what were your studying tips or what was the best way to revise this book, because I really need tips, because my plan is to just finish it and then research it and then take notes and highlight and metaphorically piss all over this book. Is The Importance of Being Earnest in Other Plays by Oscar Wilde. I love this cover. I have no idea what it's about, but I am reading this next year. It's quite a dense book. Sort of dense. This is writing obviously in play form. It's not like a proper book. It is still, you know, premise and storyline and stuff. This is obviously a classic, and I am excited to not comprehend this book. The next book I'm reading the next year is The Dressmaker by Rosalie Ham. I have no idea what this is about. It's gothic literature though. A quick gist of the cover, and it says, then she falls in love and things start to go terribly wrong. Okay. But my friend didn't really like this. It sort of dragged on and he said it was boring, but I'm into sort of anything. It's gothic and I love scary gothic stuff. Ooh, it's Australian. I can't contemplate how stupid I'm sounding in all these videos. A nice cover though. I do like the cover. I like it. It's very nice. I like this. It's clouds. And a book I was currently reading and then my friend needed it back, but he gave it to me and I paid for it, was The Tales of Mystery and Imagination by Edgar Allan Poe. He is a gothic writer. This is one of his early novels, and there's short stories abound in this book. In history, there is so much praise for Edgar Allan Poe, and I thought I should read this. If you check out my Goodreads, I'm like 84 pages through, and it was really hard to comprehend this and I wasn't really enjoying it. But I will have to read it because I have to compare it to The Dressmaker, but yes, I will have to do a lot of research on it before I read it, and then read it, because then I can be able to comprehend it. The next book I have is A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. I did study and read Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare, and I sort of enjoyed that. Sort of dragged on, and it's a classic and we have to read it. But I've heard this is quite comedic and quite funny and witty, and I am very excited for that sort of side of Shakespeare because I haven't really been introduced to that side. It's not dense like all my other books. It is a playbook, so it's written in play form. Those are all my literature books for next year that I'm reading, and I thought I would start on my English books for next year. The sort of key books we're focusing on in English next year is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And obviously this is a classic. I have the vintage version. It is so beautiful. And obviously this is her first and only novel, because I saw a quote from her when I was in English orientation, and she said that she was asked why she hasn't written anything else, and she answered with saying, if you have such a success like this, there's nowhere you can go but down. And it's quite a weird sort of look on it, but I'm glad I had this. This is a classic, so a lot of classics do drag on and they're incomprehensible, but my friends have actually told me, and a lot of people have actually told me in reviews and stuff, that this is actually a very good book. So I'm excited to get onto it, because we can only do Shakespeare in high school and college. And it is Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Like I said before, I did Romeo and Juliet, but this is more about war. And I like reading about war because I'm interested in that sort of stuff. I'm interested in our history. So I'm happy to get onto this. Be a different change of pace from Romeo and Juliet, which will be good. The next book I'm very excited about, and it is The Crucible by Arthur Miller. I love this cover, and this is sort of a comparison between the Salem witch hunt in 1692 and the McCarthyism, which took place in the 1950s in America. So it's sort of a comparison between them two. And I was very, very excited for this. This is very short, by the way, so it won't take me long. But I was very, very excited for this because I am a big fan of American Horror Story. And at the moment, season 3 is all about witches, and they talk about Salem witches. And this is about Salem witches. So I'm very excited to learn about that and learn more about it, so I can have more of a perspective of the show, because obviously the writers know a lot more about the Salem witch hunt than I do. So I'm very, very excited that I'm reading this in English so I can know more about it. I thought I would go on to books that I read previously in high school. The book I read last year, and this was in year 9, so it was quite a long time ago. It was Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. I tolerated this book. Boring, it dragged on at times, but I still liked it. It is a story of 2 men, and it takes place in, it doesn't say, but it's a story of 2 men called George and Lenny, and their sort of runaway sort of story. Don't really remember, I read it like 2 years ago. I've heard The Grapes of Wrath, which is good, and it has it on the back. I've heard that story is really good. I don't know if I should pick up more Steinbeck. If you think I should, please comment down below and tell me. The next book is the one I read this year for year 10, and it is Animal Farm by George Orwell. And I really, really want to read 1984 by George Orwell, and this book is based around... Did Adam give me that? I just found my friend's notes in the back of my book. And I know whose friend that was. But obviously I've got notes here because I needed notes, and this was quite an interesting book. I read it twice, and I kind of like the storyline, I like the fable, and it is based around quite a horrible time in history, but it was okay. So it was sort of the tension and the horribleness of it all was sort of died down because it was a fable, and it's sort of like, I wouldn't recommend it to children, but it was sort of died down. It wasn't gruesome or anything, but there was obviously blood and gore and stuff, but it wasn't completely gruesome that it would turn me off. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and please comment below and tell me if you've read these books or you're going to read these books. Hope you enjoyed my school reads. Bye.